Hi everyone, I'm going to do a tutorial today using the faux rust technique. I uploaded this project, which is an altered tin can using a rusting solution, and I've had a few people request for me to show how I actually made this. So the first thing is the actual solution. Now I bought it, this is how I bought it from eBay, but it's actually been repackaged, and I did check out the internet address there, and it seems that the website is not up to date at all. It's got a message on there from November, and it's got a really messy web page, so I wouldn't recommend that anybody actually went to buy this product from there. I did a bit of searching, however, on the internet, and this says it's been repackaged. It says it on the little containers that you get inside. So I think the original product is something called Scenic Rust, which don't know if you can read my handwriting there, and I will try and put a link. I did find somewhere that sells it in the UK at least, so I'll try and put a link in the sidebar to show that, or on the screen. Also, if you're in the States, I think there's a product that's similar to this by Modern Options, so that might be worth researching. I know it's something that I looked at and then decided it was too expensive to ship here, so I think that works in pretty much the same way. Anyway, you get three solutions in the kit. You get what is like a white thick liquid, which is a binder, and then you get a grey coloured powder as well, which I think has got some kind of iron or ferrous compound in it, which creates the rust. And then you've got the actual rusting solution, which it's a blue liquid, and mine's actually gone rusty because I've had the brush in the bottle from the first time I used it. So what you need to do then to begin with, you need to find some kind of container. It says on the packaging that if you put it in plastic, it's likely to melt the plastic or have undesirable effects there. So I'm using a glass container, and you need to mix the binding components, which is the white one, with some of the grey powder, and the proportions it tells you to use are 100% binder to 75% of the rusting powder. I don't think it makes that much difference. What you need is a thickish paste, so I've not really been very careful in measuring out and making sure the proportions are right, because I can sort of see visually if it's thick enough or not. And I think the more of the black powder you get in, the better the effect, because I'm assuming that the black powder's got the iron or some kind of compound that rusts in it. Okay, so that's ready made, that's the solution. But before you paint that onto anything, I've found that for tins at least you need a coat of acrylic paint. So I just use just a cheap acrylic. So this is a black acrylic paint, and I'm just going to pour some onto the can and just paint that on. And then obviously you'd need to leave this to dry before you paint on your rusting solution. So I'm not very careful about this at all, because the very nature of the rusting solution, obviously it's a very corroded, textured finish, so you don't need to really worry about brush marks on these. And if you wanted to, you could do the inside as well. Or you could cover the inside with a paper or something. It depends really what you want it for. If you can't really see the inside, then perhaps you're happy with leaving it. Okay, so one coat of the black acrylic, then leave that to dry. I have actually got one here that's already dried, so now I can paint on a layer of the rusting solution that I've just mixed up. So you just need to paint this all the way around, and then the instructions say to leave it to dry and then add a second coat, which I've always done. I'm not sure what the effects are if you try and stretch it to just one coat. Possibly it doesn't rust as much. Okay, and obviously remember to do the inside as well if you want the rust effects on the inside too. So once you've done that, you need to leave it to dry, probably the first coat for about half an hour or so, maybe a bit longer, and then the second coat seems to take a bit longer again. I've got some of the larger cans here that have now had 2 coats on them. So the next stage is to take the blue solution, which activates the rust in here, and I've just poured a little bit into a little plastic tray, which I'm not worried about whether it damages it or not. And so I'm going to take a brush again and brush a coat of this all over the can. And then after this it needs to be left again to dry, and you can put a second application of this on as well, and you can just put it in areas as well if you only want sort of random areas to be rusted. You can just put it in the areas that you want it. I tend to put it all over to begin with, see what happens, and then add some more if need be. I'm just going to get the top part there as well. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to come back when that's dried and we'll see how much it's rusted. Okay, back soon.